In today's materialistic world, it can be difficult to find the time or motivation for ourselves. It's also easy to slip into a negative mindset, especially in the age of social media and 24/7 news. Meditating is a great way of calming our minds and focusing on what really matters in life. But not all meditation techniques will work for everyone. That is where Genevieve Francisco comes in. She breaks down negative self-talk with her clients so they know how best to use their new understanding about themselves as tools towards mindfulness, better health, and happiness. Her intellectual nourishment program offers an alternative view of what happens inside our heads when we try to manifest something new into our lives. It also provides techniques for using these insights as tools for conscious creation instead of unconsciously creating more pain and suffering. To learn more about Genevieve Francisco and the Intellectual Nourishment Program, visit genevievefrancisco.podia.com.
Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing 90-Day HEA. As we don't have anything to discuss on the top of the episode, if you want to listen to any goss that you maybe didn't hear, you can head over to the MILF Manor episode that aired or posted. You should have had it earlier in the day today. But the most recent one, there's some hot goss in there where I do talk about the new season of Toe coming. And if you want to listen to the Below Deck recap by any means, that is also at the end of the MILF Manor episode. So roughly minute 40-ish. It is at the end of that. So you can go listen to that over there if you'd like to. Otherwise, nothing else to discuss on the top of the episode. We're just gonna head in to this. So 90-Day HEA Season 8, Episode 11, Weeping Beauty. So we have Gino and Jasmine. We're at the gym, and Jasmine is going to be his trainer, since that she's gonna be a beauty queen. She's gotta be a beauty king, you know? So when they're in the moment, because they all have muscles and all of this, and she's like, where? And she's touching him, and he flexes, question mark. What was that? It was so weird. He's such a weird guy. Anyway, then she does the punching bag, and he says to her, hit it like you mean it. Pretend this is the punching bag of my family with all of their nasty, nasty things that they said to you. Get it out. And she's punching, and then all of a sudden she kicks the bag, so we thought. Instead, she kicks him in the balls. Wow. It was pretty funny. And after that, though, once he is recovered from the ball hitting, she says, so I got a call from one of the ladies there in the pageant workshop, that told me you haven't paid the fees yet. Why haven't you paid the fees? And, they only have one more week before the registration closes and that you can't do it. He says, listen, it's a lot of money. We don't know how much money it is. He hasn't told us. And he says, in terms of, updating her status with immigration, those fees have also skyrocketed. So he has a lot that he has to kind of work through. And Jasmine says, I think the rest of us say, go back to fucking work, Gino. I don't know how long it's been now. I think he said he was going to be off for the 6 months. I don't know if that's 6 months because of filming or what the case is, but go back to work. go back to work. Because, I mean, I'm not saying go back to work because she, although this is like the one thing that she wants to do for herself, that's not crazy, I guess. Just go back to work. It's, come on, enough's enough now. And, um, he says, I did that because I wanted to, be here and support you when you came. And, that's the story he tells. But she's like, don't make it about me. Because all you do at home is play on the computer or do fantasy football. Like, you're basically what you're trying to say is like, you don't pay attention to me. Like, so he's like, well, that's not true. Oh, well, I'm sure there's some truth to it. Um, he said that, but he said, listen, I'll still look at our resources and see what I can do. And she's like, okay. And he's like, so are we gonna go? And she's like, no, I told you I want to do 45 minutes of cardio before we go, so let's go. And he's like, no, I want to go home. I want to go home. I have things I gotta do. I want to go home. And she's like, you told me that you were going to be okay with my workout. I want to do 45 minutes of cardio with a lot of cardio, but I want to do 45 minutes of cardio and then we can go. Now here's my thing. He does say to her, I'll bring you back. And she's like, no, you won't, because you always say that and you always end up falling asleep. So, no, you won't. And she relies on him. She's not driving. She can't drive in the States yet. So she relies on him. So here's my thing. Why can't he just stay? It's another 45 minutes. I don't know what time it is right now, but it's another 45 minutes. Who cares? Just do the fucking cardio with her. Or as we'll see, you could have just gotten your fucking smoothie and then go back for her. You know what I mean? Let her do her cardio if that's what she wants to do. Or or you go and you come back, or you arrange for an Uber, or whatever. Like, to let her do her cardio. Like, what's the problem? And he says, no, I want to go. And she just kind of gives up at that point and says, whatever. So they're going to leave. And it's in this moment that we find out, too, that she says, listen, I rely on him. We talk about the driving and everything. I rely on him for everything. But on top of that, it's like, I don't have like a credit card that I can use that like maybe he can put like money in to or something. I don't they have like, I know this is, I hate this. I'm sorry for what I say, but because I know she's an adult, but don't they have like those credit cards where you can like preload, not like a gift card, but like you can preload them. Kind of like a, hmm, hopefully Americans will. I know Tim Hortons is in America, but hopefully you'll understand. Like a Tim's card. The Tim card, you can like reload the amount on the Tim's card. Kind of like that. So she doesn't have like even something like that she can have for herself, that she can even just go to a store, go to a freaking, I don't know, some sort of pharmacy or something, and go pick up tampons for herself. She has to rely on him to buy her feminine products. Are you kidding me? First of all, number one, I'm not saying that he shouldn't, like once in a while, if she needs that from him, can you please go buy me this? That he shouldn't be able. But the fact that she relies on him wholeheartedly to buy her stuff, no. That is a basic fucking need that we have, that we need. We need to have those things, and we should be able to have access to the funds in order to get said things when we need it. And he's only buying enough to probably last a month. You know what I mean? Or when she gets it that month. And I'm not saying that that's not, because okay, feminine products like that, whether you use pads, tampons, whatever, they are not cheap. Okay? I'm probably spending easily $15, if not more, on a package of, 'cause I use pads, a package of pads that eventually is gonna just get thrown out, you know? And they're expensive, and you know he complains about it. You know he fucking complains about the price of these things, but it's like, she needs it. She's still, you want her to keep getting her period, so she needs it. It's ridiculous to me, and I would hate that. I would hate that. So anyway, they're in the car, thinking we're heading home, and we're not, because she's like, so we're going home, and he's like, no, I'm hungry. I think I'm gonna go get a smoothie. And she's like, so we can go get a fucking smoothie, but I can't do my cardio? Everything you want to do, Gino, you do. Meanwhile, anything I want to do, we don't. Like, it's not fair, right? But anyway, they get the smoothies. She does order herself a smoothie too, and we do that. We're good. And then, also, actually, I think I forgot this. This was actually, I think, in the car on the way. I don't think this was, because I think I skipped a bit. I'm not kind of going on my notes here. He says to her in the car, oh, why are you being so moody? Is it that time of the month? Oh, if it wasn't for the fact that he was driving, I think she would have bitch slapped him so hard. Are you kidding? No, you're a fucking asshole. That's why she's upset. And she's like, I wish that you could get your period out of your ass. And he's like, gross. So yeah, there was that. I completely forgot that. So yeah, when they're now, looks like they're leaving, and she's thinking we're heading back to the car. Instead, he's like, let's have a seat, let's chill. And she's like, are you fucking crazy? You literally told me you want to go home because you have stuff to do, but you don't even want to go home. You now want to sit down here and drink the smoothies? You can drink the smoothies in the fucking car because you said you want to go home. And he's like, well, just have a seat, it's fine. And she's like, of course, because everything is Gino land, kind of like Legoland. And it's just, like, everything's about Gino. And, you don't do the money. You don't say you're going to do, blah, blah, blah. Like, she's going off. And he's like, I told you I would get the money. Technically, you didn't. You said you would look at the resources, but you didn't actually say you get the money. But, he's like, you have no appreciation. And she's like, do I have to kiss your feet for getting me to the States? And he's like, you're being, don't be so dramatic. And we kind of now, I think, understand why she said on the tell-all, like, I have to, like, kiss the feet of the person who brings me to the States. No. And, she said, I want to go home. And I think at this point they're at the car, and he's like, do you want this? And he is giving her the smoothie. And she's like, you are trying to control me. He says, no. Maybe a little bit. And she's like, the only creature that can control me is my dog. You can't control me. Men don't control me. And he's like, you're crazy. That doesn't help, Gina. And she, I think at this point, throws the thing down the ground. If she even, I can't remember exactly if she took it and threw it, then said all that, or she threw it after, whatever. She threw the smoothie on the floor. What a shame. And then takes the shoes off and says, since you paid for these shoes, I'll give them back to you. And, yeah, fuck you. And she walks away in her sock feet, and he's like, where are you going? And she's like, home. Well, something you were supposed to do in the first place. These two. Anyways, that's it for Gino and Jasmine. Guess we'll see how that turns out. But let's talk Patrick and Thais. So, John's here. Yay. And welcome to Brazil, John. And Patrick asked, did you wish Thais happy birthday? He's like, oh yeah, that's today. I'm not going to text her though. I'll just tell her when I see her. And Patrick's like, oh yeah, she will love to see you. She's going to love it. Obviously sarcastically. And John's like, wait, she doesn't know? You didn't tell her? What John is talking about is the fact that John doesn't want to do a reservation for a hotel. He wants to save his money. And he figures, well, I can just stay with my brother. I mean, why not? If there's extra room. You know what I mean? So Patrick mentions, I saw Carlos today. Didn't go good. It's like he wanted me to kiss the ring. And John's like the Godfather? Yeah, he wants me to ask for his permission. And John, like the rest of us, say, but you're already married. And he said, what did you do? He's like, I just said I want to get his respect. But now she's mad at me. And John's like, oh, she wants you to bow down to him. Cool. And he says to the camera, we don't kiss rings in this family. I may be in your country, sir, but you're not the Godfather. Let's do some shots. So they do some shots. And John's like, so I get to meet Carlos. Yeah, you're gonna see everybody, basically. And he says, yeah, and then my dad came by with a paint can to paint the whole apartment. And Thais is upset about that too. And she thinks that he's actually using me. Can you believe that? And John's like, you know what? This is the first time I actually hear Thais. I think he is using you. And he's like, because you're like his bread and butter. And John says, like, Jose's not a good guy. You know, he's probably just, using you. And he basically says, like, he just wants to get to know his father and all that, because I don't think they've always had a great relationship. And he's like, John says, I didn't know mine either, but I think Patrick says, like, you don't talk to your dad. And he's like, no, I know. He's like, yeah, but he took me to baseball games. Did yours take you to baseball games? No. Shut the fuck up. John, is this like a competition on whose dad is better when you don't have much to go on? Anyways. Patrick says, you were the stepchild, so I'm not gonna hold that against him. I would. If a man is going to treat the existing children of the person he is with badly or ignores them, that's a true sign of how he is going to handle himself as a father. And clearly, he isn't great. I would be holding that against him. Because at least if you can love the children I already have, that you're going to adore the ones you will get that are biologically yours. Like, I know they didn't have a great upbringing, but it's not, no. I wouldn't let that one go. John says, you don't hold anything against him, and you should. Because you know what? Sometimes family sucks. Yeah. Well, let's get to the apartment and go give Thais her birthday present, which is John staying at the apartment. She's gonna love it. So we get to the apartment. Theo is the first one to greet John because, dogs love people. And happy birthday to you, Thais. And Thais is like, you smell like alcohol. Which is God. Which is like, if they're gonna drink. They're allowed to drink even if she doesn't. And John's like, yeah, I did a shot for you. I know you don't drink, so I did it for you. Happy birthday. So Patrick is like, listen. So John doesn't have anywhere to go because he screwed up his reservation at the hotel. Wink, wink. So can he stay here? And I feel like if Thais could have said no, she would have. And yeah, so she's like, oh, I don't want him to stay here. And they're also being really loud. And Thais was kind of going like, the baby is sleeping. And John's like, okay, I'll be quiet. I'm being quiet. But yet, his quiet is still pretty loud. But he just really wants over there. It's like, wrench? Want a wrench? Want a wrench? You want a wrench? It's seriously so good. I love him. But yeah, she's like, just go to bed. Just go to bed. Both of you just go to fucking bed. I'm so done with the both of you. Go to bed. So we're all gonna go to bed. And she goes in her room and she's over it. And Patrick's like, well, that went well. This went great. But yeah, that's basically it with Patrick. Actually, is there more before I say that's it? Yeah, I think we're going to be going to Jose's like farm or ranch in the next episode. So I think that's basically it. But yeah, that's it for Patrick and Thais. Let's do Lauren and Alexi, and then we'll take a break here. So Lauren is going to be going home today, and today is also Rosh Hashanah, which is like New Year for them, or like it is legitimately New Year for them. So we are going to be having family dinner later. So her mom is at the apartment when she gets there, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Alexi leaves to go pick up the kids, and he tells them on the way to the house that, listen, no jumping on mommy. She has boo-boos. And he's like, listen, kids are unpredictable. One minute they could be sitting there all nicely, and the next they're just whacking you in the head with a toy. Ain't that the truth? I think it was Asher. It was literally like, she has boo-boos like a giraffe. He's like a giraffe. But they get into the house, and Lauren is obviously emotional seeing them, and this is the first time I feel like we've seen Ariel actually awake. But Ariel's also very emotional in this moment. I don't know if it's because she wanted her to pick her up or what was going on, and that wasn't happening. But Ariel's really emotional herself, and I'm like, oh, so mother like daughter. Okay. But she's definitely hurting. She says that now they're doing dinner, and her dad was asking how she was doing. She's definitely hurting. Her ears are hurting from the bandage, which is why she wasn't wearing it at the dinner. And her dad's like, oh, maybe we should have held off on doing dinner. And they're, no, we're gonna do this. It's fine. And it's just a lot. And oh yeah, yeah, she said, yeah, the dinner is fine. It's fine. And her mom in this moment is just momming, and she's like, well, she's not doing it. Her mom's garbage, but there's more. Who knew? There is going to be more of her just shenanigans. And her mom says, like, why do it now? Well, they've already discussed why they were doing it now, so it is what it is. And she's like, it was my choice. I know. But she chose to do this and whatever. And her mom literally says, yeah, it was your choice, so don't complain now. I fucking can't with her mom. Her mom needs to fuck all the way off. I'm not saying that you're not entitled to the opinion of why did you have to do this. I'm not saying that you are entitled to your opinions on elective surgery. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is what's done is done. She did it. She spent hours in surgery getting it done. It is what it is. She is now in pain. Let's not harp on the fact that she did the fucking thing. Let's now get her better, get her feeling better. And you saying shit like, don't complain now? Fuck you. That is, mm-mm. And it was at this moment that Lauren's like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed now. Cause she don't want to fucking deal with this. And Alexi comes with her, puts the bandage back on her head, goes back out to the kids, and she says, like, I know my mom is judging in there. And that's something that she just does not want to deal with right now. Her mom is fucking garbage. Do you think that's gonna help? Because not only is she dealing with the pain of surgery, she is still dealing with everything else that she has to deal with. She is still a mom and having to deal with the fact that I can't do anything. She's still gonna have to deal with her Tourette's as well, and that can get worse with stress. So do you think maybe adding to the fucking stress mom is a way to fucking go? Her mom is garbage. Anyways, that's it for Lauren and Alexi. It is obviously a lot. Mainly me trashing her mother. I can't. Her mom is garbage. But yeah, that's it for them. We're gonna take a break here, and when we come back, we will finish up with Ashley and Manuel and Colby and Emily. I think that's all we have, because obviously we don't cover the other two idiots. So, and we did not have any Nicole and Mahmoud in this episode. So, yeah. So we'll be back with them. And I am back. So I am sorry. I meant to get this to you on Friday, but Friday was an absolute wreck of a day. So yeah, we're getting this on Monday. Fingers crossed you get this on Monday if I can get this recorded. I'm recording this like 2 days later from the first half, so we'll try to get through this as much as possible. So let's jump in with Ashley and Manuel. So Ashley is with her cousin. She says, girl, I'm stressed. New York was horrible. I need my witch potion. And her sister is like, honey, it's an IV, strictly medical. She's like, well, give me the juice. Like, let's do this. So her cousin's like, we got magnesium for your stress and B12 for your energy. She says, let me some. She says, let me get to the chase, basically. She says he thinks that he does no wrong, which is true. He comes into the room sometimes. Apparently he came into the room and like forcibly and says, I need money to send to my family. And thank yous. And then leaves. And her cousin's like, that's weird. And she's like, exactly. And her cousin's like, can I have more detail? She's like, she says like, can I get more details as to what you need here? But I did put, she just said 500, I think, or was it 1,000 or something into his account. So her cousin says, like, how much have you sent, like, in total, the grand total? And she thinks that around in total, I mean, it's been thousands. She sent thousands to his family. They basically agreed on sending 200 a month to his family, but lately he's been asking for more. And obviously 200 American is going to, last a little longer in Ecuador, but now he's asking for more money. You know, the wonder is, like, could he be storing some of it away? Which I think is actually a legitimate question to be asking. Is he storing any of that away? I don't know. Then we learn kind of maybe where her trust issues and her kind of where that's coming from. So her biological father. She didn't know her biological father. We know her mom had her at a young age, 16. And I guess the relationship between her mother and her father didn't last. And she didn't find out that that was her biological father until later in life. And when she, wanted to develop a relationship with her father, and I guess he was definitely open to that as well, which is great. But unfortunately, that didn't last because he ended up unaliving himself, which left her feeling abandoned, which is totally understandable and definitely contributes to her trust issues. And her cousin's like, well, does Manuel know about this? And the answer is yes, he does. But I guess he doesn't maybe realize how that is translating into their relationship. And that, I mean, listen, the expectation in a marriage is that you are going to be transparent, be open, be the person you can talk to and know that they're not hiding things from you. Ashley doesn't have that in Manuel. And it's unfortunate that she doesn't have that in Manuel. Like, we don't know the inner workings of the relationship, but we saw it in the first season. We're seeing it here. There's not a lot of change. And I do understand, culturally speaking, that this is how it is. We learned that from Jasmine in the tell-all. But it's just, we have seen people from Latin America come to this show, be in relationships, and not be like Manuel. There's something more going on. I don't know what it is. Not necessarily saying he's being vindictive or anything, but there's definitely something going on. Her cousin then says, like, have you guys discussed, well, obviously can't do prenup now, but about a postnup? Protect the both of you. And Ashley is kind of now considering maybe we should be doing a postnup. So in the next scene, we see Ashley and Manuel going to get them food. Ashley is me and I am Ashley, because when the bee comes around her and starts flying around her, she's freaking out. And I'm like, I am her and she is me, because I would do the exact same thing. I don't care if anyone's around me. I don't care. Okay? I get that thing away from me. No. And they're, like, Manuel's kind of, I guess, trying to say bee, because she's saying bee. He's like, beets? Bee. Beets? Bee. Oh, bee. So yeah, he asked kind of how her treatment went. And she's like, it was good. And I'm actually surprised because I wasn't sure how much an IV treatment would cost. Yeah, I was thinking, and there's no way that's a cheap thing. Like, it has to be a lot of money. She says it's $50. Now, 50 US dollars in Canadian is probably going to be roughly about 80, but even that's not bad. I'm actually shocked. Pleasantly. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So she says, yeah, we talked about New York, and she's like, I don't want to feel like you're pushing me away, which is definitely, I think, roughly what he's kind of doing, is pushing her away. And he's like, I told her about, like, my trust issues, and she mentions here about that postnup. And she's like, I don't want you to up and decide to divorce me and take all my money. And he's like, you don't trust me? No. Um, she's like, do you want to see a lawyer? And we can have a conversation about this, like, you know, about all of it. And he said, sure, whatever you say. So he's going to agree to do that. And it's going to be eye opening for him. He says, I didn't marry you to take your money. I married you because I love you. And that's kind of the first time that I'm seeing like him have any form of like emotion towards her or saying sweet things to her. Like, besides like the wedding, when everyone says nice things at a wedding. This is the first time that I'm like, okay. I mean, I never doubted it. I do believe he loves her. And I do believe she loves him. I never doubted that. It's just kind of nice to hear him say it, I guess. Um, anyway, but she says, like, do we need to talk to a lawyer? Yes or no? And yeah, they're going to talk to a lawyer. And I think that's probably for the best that they talk to a lawyer. Just because, like, you know, yeah. But that's basically that for Ashley and Manuel. Next, Kobe and Emily. So she is his property. And she is our wife. And he can make a decision to move to Cameroon, and she would have to do it. Kobe is like, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying this right now. And Lisa's like, so how do you feel about that, Emily? And she says, well, I mean, if it's tradition. And her mom's like, oh my God. No, she's just trying to keep the peace. That is it. That is it. Because you're only going to be here for a couple of weeks. And she's like, I am marrying a Cameroonian man. And that's that. And they said, well, it's the word property for us. And Kobe's like, okay, let me diffuse the situation and say, it's not like we're saying, it's she's property, It's just we're responsible for her. Yeah, that's it. We're responsible for her. And so of course she has a say. It's our relationship. Of course she does. Which she does. For him, she does. And she's like, yeah, it's just like we have fought way too hard in America for our rights. Well, you're not in America. Not everyone fought that way. So we good now? We're good. What's next? So David, well, first reads the list of demands, but you're not supposed to read the list of demands. You just hand it over and then we'll negotiate. And for the bride price, David put 1,000 francs, which is roughly about $2 US. So he's like, I don't want to put them out or anything. Now they just have to try to get the stuff on the list and we'll go from there. And then there'll be the wedding. Now we're going to eat some of the food. And is the food good? And his cousin, I thought it was his uncle, it's actually his cousin. He's like, it's good. And Kobe says, this is the best euro, I think it's euro, he has ever had. And I said, Kobe, you have to say that. But I don't know. They seem to, his mom was kind of like, she actually cooks better than some Cameroonian women. Okay, Emily. So now they're gone. And it's just that this Kobe and Emily and Kobe's like, well, that went well. And it's like, yeah, the food was really good. And she's like, she was nervous because she just didn't know what to expect. And she's like, me, I like to know what to expect. And she's like, but am I your property? She's like, he's like, I'm responsible for you. But she's more like, am I your property though? I mean, fuck yeah, I'm your property in all the moments. Come on. I am not your property in other moments. But when it comes to sex, yeah, my man owns me. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. But anyway, but there is something that's still unsettling my mind. And that's something that Valerie told me. So the ex-girlfriend, I think we should meet her. Why? Kobe and me or everyone over here is like, the fuck? Why? Why do you need to meet his ex? Listen, and I did talk about this a little bit in the Love in Paradise episode with Ava, but I mentioned this and I said, let's pretend that it was that way. And I don't even hold it past him that he could have had a girlfriend back home when he was in China. That doesn't surprise me at all. But at the end of the day, we also don't know the situation. Maybe they had an open relationship. We don't know. But under the circumstances, y'all had sex, sure. But then you got pregnant. And then he proposed to you. So whatever the fuck he had going on back home doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, Emily, you're the one with the ring. You're the one with 2, soon to be 3 kids. Who gives a shit if he was in a relationship with somebody? It clearly didn't matter. Like, I feel like this is somewhat of a fabricated story to add, like, drama to them. But it's like, clearly it didn't matter because, as mentioned, they were clearly fucking because she got pregnant. They're happy. They did the marriage, clearly. You can see they did the wedding and, like, the coming up on and everything. Like, it happened. They're still together. They're still thriving. Like, who gives a shit if he had a girlfriend back home? Like, doesn't matter. He's not with her now. So he's like, it makes no sense to be meeting her. She's like, yes, it does. Like, why are you hesitating? Is there a reason why you're hesitating? No, because it's stupid. It's not hesitating. It's just dumb. Waste of everybody's time. That's why. But they're gonna meet the girlfriend. Okay, or the ex-girlfriend, but that's basically it for Emily and Kobe. That's it for the episode. I'm not gonna do the next time on because by the time you get this, it'll be the day after the episode aired. So I'm not gonna do that. So I still have Seeking Sister Wife coming your way. I have the notes ready, good to go. You should be getting that hopefully soon. And you will also have the episodes coming up for 90 Day UK. I am in the middle of the second episode, so I'm getting it done. Unfortunately, I would have been so much further ahead, guys. You have no idea. But unfortunately, Saturday, I just didn't feel good. I didn't feel great. I was exhausted. I don't know why. And I couldn't fathom getting stuff done. So unfortunately, I'm behind because of it now. But I'll get those to you. We're working on getting Ava onto an episode as well. It really just depends on how far I can get through the 90 Day UK episodes. I should be able to get it done, and then we can get her on an episode for that. And then we're gonna work on that. So, but yeah, that's it for this episode. I'm hoping soon too that I can get started on the Ultimatum South Africa episodes as well. Should hopefully be getting that started this week, so we'll do that. And obviously that was Liars. I still gotta get that. Actually, we're on 2 episodes now again, so I feel like the show's almost done. But anyway, we're getting through that too. So I'll get those to you soon as well. But that is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Week Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.